Coming to you live from the Mediaplex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of Clair College Journalism.
Good evening. I'm Dan Gray, and you're watching Mediaplex News Now. Drew Dilkins is officially the new mayor of Windsor. Taylor Bush got us an inside look at the inauguration.
I, Drew Dilkins, having subscribed to my declaration of office as mayor and to my oath of allegiance, solemnly declare that I will uphold and observe my declaration of oath.
Drew Dilkins was officially sworn in as Windsor's new mayor last night at St. Clair's Center for the Arts.
I look forward to working with the university's president, Dr. Alden Wildeman, along with leaders at St. Clair College to continue building strong academic partnerships that leverage resources and help transform our city and our downtown.
Dilkins said he is very excited to begin working with the new council and has many ideas on how to improve Windsor over the next 4 years. He also congratulated all the candidates for running successful campaigns this past season.
I'm really excited. It was a hard-fought campaign. You know, the transition was fantastic, and now, you know, standing here on my first day as mayor of the city of Windsor, certainly it's an honor for me, and it's a very humbling experience. And I'm very grateful to be given the opportunity by the residents of the city of Windsor.
5 new councillors were also sworn in, including Fred Francis from Ward 1.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an exciting evening, you know, the swearing in of the new mayor, the swearing in of the new council, and it's exciting for the volunteers of the different campaigns, exciting for the family members that sacrifice so much, exciting for the residents, and exciting for everyone on that stage that got sworn in today, because now we could get to the work that we promised during the campaigns, and I know everyone's eager to get down to the work, and there's certainly a lot of work to do over the next 4 years.
Reporting for Mediaplex News Now, I'm Taylor Bush.
Windsor Police and Fire Services have a new tool at their disposal. I was there to take a look. From old to new, Windsor City Police Services and Windsor Fire Rescue Services each paid half the $1 million price tag for the new Joint Emergency Command Unit. The new unit was purchased from the province of Ontario and features state-of-the-art communications, iPad-operated video cameras, and plenty of space. The unit will be deployed when on-scene command and control is necessary. For Mediaplex News, I'm Dan Gray. Time for an early peek at the weather. Chelsea Leffler is on the corner of University and Victoria. Chelsea?
Thanks, Dan. So it's officially December, and the normal temperature for this time of year is 5 degrees. Tonight, we'll be looking at a high of -1 and a low of -4 with some cloudiness. So if I were you guys, I would grab a tea and a book and stay inside. We'll be looking at Windsor's 3-day forecast in a little bit.
Thank you, Chelsea. Windsor firefighters held their annual Chili Fest last week. Aisha Coburn tells us more.
Local firefighters are holding their annual Chili Fest at the St. Clair Center for the Arts. Not only is the chili yummy, but the proceeds are going to a great cause. Bridget Chippett is the coordinator of this function.
Every year the firefighters get together, volunteer their time, and they serve chili. That's been graciously donated by over 40 restaurants. And we raise money for the community to be filtered back to other charities and sports teams and individuals, as well as other organizations who need assistance throughout the year.
Black Friday took place this past weekend. We sent reporter Mandy Matthews to check it out.
Black Friday started up last night stateside, but Windsorites were able to sleep through the night. Following off the heels of Americans, Canadian retailers are taking advantage of Black Friday to provide savings to customers. The Devonshire Mall opened its doors to the public at 6 a.m. While most stores didn't start their sales until 7 a.m., people didn't hesitate to get an early start to their day.
We started at 8 a.m. and we're supposed to start at 7 a.m., but she slept in, so.
How long are you planning on being here for?
Probably till the whole day, until we're like drop dead, I guess.
Last year, Devonshire saw just over 37,000 customers in a single day, and according to General Manager Chris Savard, the numbers will be increasing.
Canadians are recognizing that there are deals to be had and lots of great opportunity to come to shopping centers, not only here in Windsor, but across the country.
However, some unique stores in the mall are choosing not to participate.
To be honest, I think Black Friday belongs more to the electronic retailers. These are handmade items, these are, and they're imported. And I think it's an insult in a way to just deeply discount these products.
Blowout sales or no sales, Malik says seasonal shoppers will be out in full force come the next couple of weeks and into Boxing Day. Devonshire Mall is expected to see over 40,000 customers by the end of the day. Mandy Matthews, Mediaplex News Now.
On this edition of British Beat, journalism graduate Sean Prevost takes us on a tour of London, England.
Welcome to the latest edition of the British Beat. I'm Sean Prevost, and I'm here in London, England, the capital of both England and the United Kingdom. And I'm going to take you on a tour to some of the more interesting sights of this great city, including Piccadilly Circus and Regent Street. So let's go and see what this city has to offer. To get to our first destination, let's take the Underground, which can connect you to any part you want to go in London. Now, I'm in Piccadilly Circus, which is a road junction that was built in 1819 to connect Piccadilly with Regent Street. And as you'll see, it's quite the tourist attraction. Now, an interesting thing to note about the marquees behind me is they used to surround all areas of Piccadilly Circus, but are now confined just to the building behind me. This is also a very popular tourist destination because it connects people with the different shopping venues that you find in the West End of London. It also features the Shaftesbury Memorial Fountain and the London Pavilion. Now, let's take a walk over to Regent Street, which is often known as a great tourist place to visit, especially during Christmas for their lights. You might not see them all because it is daylight, but let's take a look. I'm here on Regent Street, one of the most popular shopping districts in the West End of London, and known for its Christmas illuminations. Now, an interesting thing to note about Regent Street is that every building along this street is protected as a Class 2 building and is part of the Regent Street Conservation Area. Also to note is the store behind me, Hamleys, is one of the largest toy stores in the world, encompassing 7 floors, and is known as the oldest toy store in the entire world, having first opened in 1760 and then moving to Regent Street in 1881. Thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of the British Beat here in London, England. Be sure to stay tuned for the next edition here on Mediaplex News Now. I'm Sean Prevost, reporting from London, England. Back to the Mediaplex.
Here at the Mediaplex, St. Clair College offers many different programs. Among them is public relations.
Students in the Public Relations program here at St. Clair College have a unique opportunity. Not only do they come here to learn all of the skills they need to be public relations specialists, but they learn in a multi-medium Mediaplex. And it's so important to be in a facility like this, where they know that when they go out, they will be competitive in their field.
I decided to come to St. Clair College after university because I kind of feel like I needed a little bit more to kind of make myself marketable.
I am a hands-on learner. I'm a doer, so I learn best and I can retain information more when I'm actually out using the skills that I'm taught. An example of where this program does that well was our photography classes. So in class we were taught different elements of photography. We were taught the rule of thirds and leading lines and angle and perspective, and then we were actually sent out into downtown Windsor, into the streets, and we were told to capture photos containing those different elements and bring them back to class and present them. And that's something that you can't just learn in the classroom. You have to learn that by doing it. So we actually developed an eye for photography and for getting good shots, and I really don't think that can be taught in a classroom.
Hands-on training means they'll be marketable, that they can hit the road running when they go into a company. And that's what's setting our public relations program apart. And it's also why employers are coming to St. Clair's public relations program looking for good employees.
Right now I'm interning in corporate communications at Caesars Windsor. It's a really good place for an internship for a PR student because there are so many things that the casino does.
After graduation, I was offered a part-time position at Caesars Windsor. So I am now an external communications specialist at Caesars Windsor.
We give them a skill set that I believe will make them the most marketable of any public relations program.
In this edition of 3 Minutes With, Janai Linton-Hill sits down with Windsor Police Chief Al Frederick.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Hill. I'm with my guest, Chief of Windsor Police Al Frederick. So, can you tell us about the changes you made to the police force since you've been instated?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. There's been lots of changes, Janai. most importantly, have been a little bit of a restructuring of the organization. So we've put a lot more police officers back on the road in patrol functions where they're more visible by the community. So that's been one of the main changes that has occurred. We've also made changes to our model. It's a more integrated, meaning we're working together a lot more than we used to, even among ourselves. So investigators with frontline patrol officers. And then there's been lots of policy changes and equipment, lots of new technology. So been a lot of changes.
Why do you feel the changes are important?
Oh, changes are important for a number of reasons, but most importantly, we have to keep up with legislative requirements. We have to keep up with demands from the community, and we have to keep up with best practices in regards to police functions. So there's always changes to the legislation, there's always changes in technology, and there's requirements of a police service. So for example, we're moving towards what they call next generation 911. So it's not just going to be someone phoning, we're going to be allowed to text to the 911 center for police response. So these are technological changes that are required because of we belong to a broader policing community.
So how do you feel Windsorites are taking these changes?
So it's good because a lot of these changes that we're undertaking, especially more police officers on the street, have come as a direct result of feedback we've received from the community, which is we want more visible police officers, we want more patrols in our neighborhoods, so we're trying to accommodate the requests directly from our community through surveys and that sort of thing.
All right, so that's cheap. What are you most proud of, like, since you've been an officer?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we have a lot to be proud of as an organization. We serve an incredible community. So what we're most proud of is the fact that we have such trust with our community. And when something occurs in our community, we hear about it. So we have an engaged community that trusts the police, they call the police, and they cooperate with the police when something happens in their neighborhood. So that makes us more effective as a police service, and we're an extremely effective police service.
So what's the most stressful part of the job anyway?
Stress?
Yeah.
The stress, I think overall, for the frontline officers, there's an accumulated effect of the job, right? So day after day, high stress calls, whether it's a victim of a crime, an accident, motor vehicle accident with injuries, domestic violence, the officers are constantly exposed to stressful situations. So a cumulative effect over a period of time weighs on the officers. So we have moved to a model where we're trying to provide a lot more support for our frontline officers, especially who are out there every day engaged with the community.
All right, so last question. Is there any future plans you can speak of right now that you have for the Windsor Police?
Yes, so good question. So we're continuing down a path of what we call an integrated policing model, where we have police officers getting a lot more experience and a lot more opportunity internally. So they're going to get a chance to do investigative work, and they're getting a chance to do other types of jobs rather than just frontline policing. So there's more job enrichment, there's more integrated approach, so we're working together much more tightly than we used to in the past. So the officers seem to enjoy that.
All right, so that's everything for today. Thank you for coming in. Everyone, again, this is Windsor Police Chief Al Frederick, and that's all for today.
Thanks for having me.
It's time to go back out to the corner of University and Victoria to check on the weather. How's it looking out there, Chelsea?
It's not how it looks, it's how it feels, and it feels pretty darn cold out here. Hey, did you guys know that the winter of 1912 was so cold that Niagara Falls froze over? I'm sure that one was lovely. Anyways, on Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 3 degrees and a low of -3 with a mix of sun and clouds. Thursday will be a high of 1 and a low of -4, and it'll be nice and sunny. And Friday, we'll be seeing some mix of precipitation with a high of 4 and a low of -1. All right, I shall now be leaving my little post here at the corner of University and Victoria. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you, Chelsea. In this Health Minute, Shelby Hernandez gives us tips on how to fight off that pesky cold.
If you haven't felt it yet, you sure will feel it soon. The cold, chilly, make you want to stay indoors all day weather is on its way, and along with it, the dreaded cold. So, how can you keep the pesky cold away? I will tell you how. First, wash your hands frequently. MDJ Owen Henley suggests when you do wash your hands to sing the happy birthday song. 2, Disinfect all surfaces in your household. 3. Get lots of sleep and have a positive attitude. One study done by researchers at Carnegie Mellon University recruited 153 healthy men and women who had cold viruses injected into their nostrils. The study found that those who slept less than 7 hours were 3 times as likely to catch a cold. This same research team also discovered those who were generally happy and lively were much better at fighting off the cold as compared to those who were anxious, hostile, or depressed. 4. Drink a lot of water and avoid caffeine. According to Nancy Elder, MD, you should try to drink between 6 and 8 glasses of water per day. 5. Exercise. If you didn't know, exercise boosts your immune system. 6. Eat foods that are high in probiotics such as yogurt. 7. Lastly, eat healthy. Foods like vegetables and fruit contain high levels of nutrients that help your immune system better fight off sickness. I'm Shelby Hernandez, and this has been your Health Minute.
It's time for Speak Up. Today, Aaron Sanders tells us about the decline of game shows.
So let's begin. I have 4 loves in my life outside of family: basketball, my girlfriend, and of course, my friends. My 4th one is the subject of today's program, and that is game shows and its decline. First and foremost, game shows conquered the daytime schedule between the 60s and the late 80s. You had the opportunity to watch a number of games on NBC, CBS, ABC, and CTV, to name a few. Unfortunately, there is only 2 game shows that remain on the daytime schedule: Let's Make a Deal and, of course, The Price is Right. The reason why game shows are considered a dying breed in daytime television is because of the abundance of daytime talk shows. Seriously, where's the interactivity with the TV audience nowadays? The suspense, the ability to shout the answers out your screen before the contestants in the studio knows it. Sure, you can still do that with The Wheel, Jeopardy, and Family Feud at night, but then again, take your pick. But I believe that the daytime is the right time for the brain to be active. With game shows, you're able to pick up on certain knowledge that you could pass along your everyday life. If cereal is the food to get you going in the morning, consider knowledge the food for your brain. Honestly, if you're a kid staying at home sick around that time, turning on Price is Right would be your substitute teacher for the day of homeschooling, learning the prices of groceries, cars, and other kit and caboodles. Now, what are 6 students forced to watch in the daytime today? A panel of people talking their heads off about the latest celebrity gossip. Today's show, The View, The Talk, The Real. Are you serious? Daytime TV needs variety in their schedule before the soaps come on. Thanks to all of you watching, and Robin, behave yourself. I'm Aaron Sanders. Until next time, you got a voice and you need to use it.
In this edition of 3 Minutes With, Shelby Hernandez sits down with Sunny Borelli.
Hi, my name is Shelby Hernandez, and today I'm spending 3 minutes with Sunny Borelli, the Regional Director of the Miss Universe Canada Western Ontario Regional Pageant. So, Sunny, can you tell me what are some of the benefits of women being involved in the pageant?
Well, I think there's a lot of benefits for young women getting involved in pageants. Predominantly, the one aspect that I encourage these young women and the things that they'll gain is the ability to public speak. I know public speaking is one of the biggest fears out there. Being on stage and answering questions in an evening gown or walking in a swimsuit, I think builds confidence, the ability to speak and answer questions off the cuff like we're doing now is an ability that some girls don't have, and this is a great way for them to develop that skill. Some of the other things are getting involved in charities, making new friends, and the experience of a lifetime of potentially becoming Miss Universe Canada and going on to compete at the Miss Universe pageant, which is the biggest pageant in the world. So,
right. How many women are in it right now?
Currently, we are doing our casting calls. We have 25 girls that have applied and are going through the process of deciding whether they're going to do it or not. Casting calls will continue to happen up until January of 2015. From there, we will have our final delegates selected, and then the pageant will happen in April of 2015.
Speaking of casting calls, I know you have one coming up. When is that one again?
December 7th at Mezzo Ristorante and Lounge on Erie Street. We're asking anyone out there, if you're interested in potentially becoming Miss Universe Canada, come on out, no experience needed. We will do the casting call. we just want to get a feel for how you speak. We're going to ask you a few questions. We want to see how you walk. I know that sounds a little crazy, but the ability to be able to walk. Some girls may need some training in that, and what we do from that is you get a call back. If you get the call back, then you'd be part of the Miss Universe Canada Western Ontario Regional Pageant.
Can anyone join?
It's open to anybody and everybody. No experience is needed. Some girls aren't sure because they've never done a pageant before, or they're not sure because they've never heard of it. So this is a great opportunity. Hopefully somebody out there that maybe was thinking about it or has the ability and wanting to always do this could now contact us, and just like that, you'd be on to the next step.
What's the age range for it?
We are looking for girls between the ages of 18 to 27 years old, and anywhere in between there. So if you're 18 as of February 1st, 2015, you qualify, and if you're 27 as of February 1st, 2015, you qualify.
So if somebody's interested in pursuing this, what should they go about doing?
The best way to do it, and the easiest way for you guys out there to remember, is just go to our website, www.missuniversecanada.ca, and all of the information is on there. Or you can contact me on Facebook. Just type in my name, Sonny Borelli. Friend request me or send me a message, and I can help you from there.
Okay, thank you so much. We're out of time right now, but it was nice talking to you.
Thank you, Shelby.
So I'm Shelby Hernandez, and we've just spent 3 minutes with Sonny Borelli, the Regional Director for the Western Ontario Miss Universe Canada pageant.
The newest Spitfire, Hayden McCool, is already making an impact. Evan Mathias reports.
The newest member of the Windsor Spitfires, Hayden McCool, has had an impressive start to his tenure with the team. While players generally go through a transitional period learning new systems and getting used to playing with new players, McCool has done so seamlessly.
Yeah, it was tough at first. I mean, my family came down at the day it happened, or the day after it happened, and they told me that everything's gonna be all right, and I'll get through it. But I kept telling myself, it's for the better, and it's for the best for me, and it's a good opportunity here.
He has recorded a pair of goals and 3 assists in 4 games since joining the Spitfires. The 17-year-old was acquired from the Niagara Ice Dogs back on November 14th, along with 3 second-round draft picks. In exchange, Windsor sent its leading scorer Josh Hosang back to the Ice Dogs. McCool was originally drafted 6th overall by the Ice Dogs in the 2013 OHL priority selection, which was important for the Windsor Spitfires, who were without a first-round pick that year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, we're getting a top 10 pick from last year's draft injected into our lineup, a kid with, tremendous potential, and I think coming over to Windsor here, he's getting more of an opportunity in a top 6 role and playing on our power play as well, so I think that's helping him out a lot.
He, along with rookie line mates Logan Brown and Luke Kerwin, have found chemistry combining for more than a dozen scoring chances in 2 games since being united on a line.
I think just using my line mates, I've been fortunate enough to play with good players, and me and Brownie, Logan there have some good chemistry together, and slowing up and always looking for each other, and shoot the puck too when you can, and that's also how you get some points out of it too.
Despite being an inexperienced line, the trio has a combined height of 18 feet 10 inches, a factor that McCool says has played to their advantage.
We all know how to use our size properly. I don't think any of us are going to run out there headhunting anyone, but we use our size well in the corners and protecting the puck well and taking the puck to the net and everything, so we use it efficiently and smart.
McCool's efforts on the power play have been time well spent, as both goals he scored with the Spitfires have been recorded with man advantage. Reporting for Mediaplex News Now, I'm Evan Mathias.
The Journalism Club hosted a comedy night this past week at the Comedy Quarry. Aaron Sanders tells us more.
Comedy Query at Rockhead Pub was the place for laughs for fundraising. This event raised money for the St. Clair College's journalism program for its awards night. It featured comedians such as Josh Haddon, Tim Rayburn, journalist student Chris Mayu, hosted by Robert Kennedy, and the evening's headliner, Dom Perret. The comedians' jokes left the audience holding their sides from laughter. They were also interactive with the crowd. Tim Rayburn was impressed by the turnout for laughs for fundraising.
Actually really good for a comedy crowd. They were very open for us. Everyone was laughing. It was good.
Chris Mayu says improv is the key for comedians.
You gotta try it out. Even if you fail, you
got to keep trying. That's the only way you can actually work on your improv, is by continuing to do it. Even if you fail, just keep at it.
Laughs for Fundraising raised more than $300 when the night was over. Events are being held every month to raise money for the journalism program. I'm Aaron Sanders for MNN, Mediaplex News Now.
Another program St. Clair College Mediaplex offers is Media Convergence. Pay close attention.
Journalism enables people to be well informed. It's documenting history. It's an extraordinary way for people to be connected with their community.
What happens in the world affects us. What happens in our community affects us. What happens in the province affects us. And we get to be the eyes and ears and tell the stories. There are many stories that need to be told, and those things add value to our life.
I'm always meeting new people. I'm learning about things that interest me, like topics that I want to learn more about.
It's neat to know that so many people are relying on me. It makes you strive for perfection, or it makes you strive for accuracy.
The journalism program here at St. Clair College is a convergence journalism program. Convergence means the merging together of print, radio, and television, and the web, and putting all different stories into 3 or 4 different platforms.
In 21st century newsrooms, journalists have to be able to do it all.
We ask every one of our reporters to tell stories in multiple ways.
There's a different style of writing for print than there is for radio, than there is for television. And it's really important that the information gets out that is true to those platforms.
We are one of the few, if not the only, program that is actually taking students to a live broadcast and giving them that opportunity and that experience.
I've gained a lot of self-confidence. I used to be a really nervous person, a really shy person, but I think this program's helped me come out my shell. It's given me something that I love to do, and that's made me a better person.
I find that the students that come out of St. Clair College are already at or above where some of our broadcast employees have been over the last several years.
I feel that I made the greatest decision I could 2 years ago by choosing this program, because I have learned so much, and I think that I can only grow from here.
I would hands down recommend the program to someone considering it. I would recommend it to someone that's not even considering it. They teach you such a vast array of different skills, different platforms, different things that you could really apply to so many different careers.
Based on literally hundreds of interns I've seen over the years, St. Clair students are better prepared to go into the work environment in media than most students coming out of colleges and universities across North America.
I think it's that very comprehensive curriculum that we have that creates converged journalists that sets this journalism school apart.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dan Gray, and this has been Mediaplex News Now.
Mediaplex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism program.